With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Greg Sharpe. The Nebraska Huskers departed this afternoon for their matchup tomorrow night against nationally ranked Purdue. Before they left, head coach Fred Hoiberg met with the media and gave an update on forward Juwan Gary, who left Tuesday's game with a shoulder injury.
All right, so just a quick update on Juwan. So he got a scan yesterday, and he will not play tomorrow. He's got pretty significant swelling in his shoulder, and he'll be day-to-day moving forward. I won't get too into exactly what it is. I'll leave that up to the doctors to talk about it. But for the time being, we're going to take it slow with him. But he's got pretty good swelling. He's got a lot of pain in that shoulder, so he will not play tomorrow.
The shorthanded Huskers will tip off tomorrow at 6. Our pregame coverage begins at 5 o'clock. Big Ten hoops play tonight. Minnesota leading at Ohio State 33-29 late first half, and it's 5-all in Iowa City with Michigan and the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Husker women blasted Penn State last night 80-51. We'll have Coach Williams in studio in hour 2 for her weekly show. Tonight in Big Ten women's play, a top 20 battle between Maryland and Indiana, 31-23. Hoosiers have the lead late first half. Also, Rutgers will play at Minnesota at 7:30. A pair of new assistant football coaches for the Big Red met with the media earlier today. Running backs coach E.J. Barthel talked about the friendly competition among the staff as it relates to recruiting.
Yeah, the guys in our, I've just working with our guys before, they love recruiting. Everyone on our staff, they take pride in it, and it's competitive amongst us. And I think that it helps filter the process along, and it's a positive competition between us. We're helping to push each other and strive to find the very best players we can find. And so that element of amongst our staff is pretty is a tool in my opinion.
We'll hear more from Barthel and defensive backs coach Evan Cooper later this hour. The Big Ten is in search of a new commissioner. Kevin Warren was named today as the new president of the Chicago Bears. Warren was only the head of the league for 3 years. Need to buy or sell heavy equipment, trucks, or trailers? GoCurrency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Now get ready for Sports Nightly coming up on the Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
I believe that, I want to help guys get better. And so to do that, you have to have players who want that, who want to wake up every day and just work and grind. And so that's all really important to me. If we have the core of our team that's like that, we'll be hard to beat.
Side for Walker, skip past left side. Breidenbach to Wilcher, puts it up. Got it! 3-ball. C.J. Wilcher, another CVA 3.
That ball was just popping around. Just great movement. Shelley to throw it in baseline left. Into Markowski. Back to Jazz. 3-pointers. You betcha! In the deep left corner. Off the screen assist from Markowski.
Walker in the backcourt will bring it across the line with a pass to Gary. Gary attacks the rim. Jambola with a right hand. A tomahawk dunk by Gary, and the Huskers with a 41-24 lead. And there is our first Interstate Bank play of the game.
Bourne series for Nebraska. Hyvee around a Mendelson screen. Deep right side, Izzy. Bourne's 3. You betcha! That's a Central Valley egg 3 from Izzy Bourne. Off the assist from Hyvee. Stand up, Husker fans. This is a great win for Nebraska. They knock off previously undefeated Kansas, their second win over a top 20 team this year. And the Huskers in 3 overtimes defeat Kansas 85-79 tonight in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for another night of Sports Nightly after last night only being here for about 40 minutes and handed off to Matt Coatney, Jeff Greash, and what an effort by the women's basketball team. Even got a Sports Center top 10 highlight. How about that?
And Scott Van Pelt's best thing he saw, and blew up Twitter, all of the above. It was awesome. Shout out Kendall Moriarty. boy, she just let that fly, and then it went in. And I can't wait to hear Amy's response to it today and how it all unfolded, because she looked like she was like, what is going on? But what a response. You know, they play a really disappointing, come out and have a disappointing performance against Rutgers, but to respond the way that they did, it's kind of what you expect, though, from this team. You don't expect them to have 2 bad performances in a row, and especially not inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. They love playing inside PBA.
Sets up a monster matchup Saturday at 1:30 against the undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes. I didn't realize they were undefeated. I was doing some research today. I'm like, holy cow, they're 17-0.
Yeah,
that's quite a run.
Yeah, and Coat and I talked about that quite a bit last night after you had to leave, and kind of the overall landscape of women's college basketball. And Ohio State, boy, they've been on the ropes and on the brink of not being undefeated. And, you know, he was saying that as good as they are and undefeated and they're 3rd in the nation, that probably it's by committee by them. They don't necessarily have one superstar, and so probably not a single player would he put on his first team ballot, but it's just kind of a collective group of players. A lot of them have played together for a long time, but yeah, they've found ways to win some games, and hopefully the Huskers give them their first loss of the year.
Jessica, a new leader going to be headed for the Big Ten Conference as Kevin Warren made it official today. This had been rumored for a while that he was going to leave and go to the Chicago Bears. I think Kevin has his sights set on maybe being the next NFL commissioner, and I think he feels like maybe getting back in the NFL will improve his stead in all of that. Trev Alberts did tweet out today a thank you to Kevin Warren for his work as the head of the conference for the last 3 years. Pretty short tenure, actually, for a guy to be the league. But he said, I've enjoyed working and collaborating with Commissioner Warren during my time at Nebraska. First, Kevin has been a great advocate for student athletes during a time of incredible change in college sports. Secondly, his leadership role in adding USC and UCLA to the Big Ten and securing an industry-leading media rights deal are transformational decisions that have strategically positioned the Big Ten to be a leader in collegiate athletics for decades to come. I wish Kevin continued success as he moves on to his next professional challenge. He will be known as the guy that put together this monster TV package. This thing is huge.
He'll also be known for his bad handling of COVID, right?
There is good and bad with Kevin Warren, and you're exactly right. And I was going to go there next, but you're right. I mean, there was some really big mistakes I think he made initially, but I think his exit for the last year pretty solid.
Absolutely. And to me, I'm not really surprised. I wasn't surprised when you started hearing the reports. It kind of seemed like an NFL guy all along, right? That was just kind of making a stop in college, but always felt like he was going to eventually return to the NFL, and so not really surprising. But yeah, absolutely was a monster deal that put together. And it wasn't just him. It's a team of people. Not one person is ever responsible for that. But yeah, I mean, he was the leader that was in charge, and so absolutely put the Big Ten out in front along with the SEC as we move forward and navigate where college football is headed. And certainly Big Ten is at the forefront of that. That's why you're seeing a lot of these players and coaches that want to come to this conference. But yeah, it was I just wasn't too surprised because you always felt like he was going back to the NFL at some point.
I was pretty hard on the commissioner at times, particularly during the COVID year where the Big Ten really dragged their feet. I think the Big Ten felt like if we pull the plug, everybody will follow us. And then all of a sudden you turn around and go, oh, nobody's following us. They're all going on and playing. The SEC is playing. The Big 12 was playing. The ACC was playing. And it was the Pac-12 and the Big Ten that weren't. They were late to the party that year, and I think Warren was at the front of this. Also, Pete Thamel today has a story up. Pete writes for ESPN and is part of the Game Day crew. He's got a column up that says Warren alienated a lot of the athletic directors and campus leadership when he was trying to expand beyond the UCLA and USC. A lot of the league presidents and chancellors are going, no, not enough. This is big enough. We don't want to keep expanding this thing. And Warren was pushing hard on that. So I'm not sure that there's a lot of powers to be around the conference that are all feeling that bad tonight that he's leaving.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think, again, I felt like all along too, I mean, as the positives that we've pointed out, but also he just never seemed like a leader of a college conference. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain guys and the way that they lead, it's more to it than just how you lead an NFL organization.
Right.
And there's different entities, there's colleges that and chancellors, like you just mentioned, and the athletics directors. It's not just your opinion and how you think this thing should go. You're navigating a bunch of different opinions, and it just, to me, and again, I mean, appreciate all that he did. I'm not knocking him, but I never felt like he was one of those dudes that was going to be in leadership at the college level like this for very long. And I think you kind of saw some of the maybe tensions that arose from maybe him not being the college type of conference leader.
Sam in Omaha on our text line said, what do you guys think is his lasting legacy? He says, oh, never mind, you guys are just talking about that right now. But he said, are there some names out there to look for to step in and replace Warren? This will be really interesting because in the last couple of conference commissioner hires, and I'm thinking about the Pac-12 and the Big 12, they kind of went off the radar a little bit. They went kind of more into the entertainment industry to find guys to lead their league. So I don't know. I don't know where the conference will go with this.
I don't think I don't think that they will go back to the NFL like they did. I think you got to get somebody that understands the NIL aspect of it and the different being able to get in there and be a bulldog in terms of going up against Sankey from the SEC and all of these, because you got some powers that be that want to be in charge, but you have to make sure that the Big Ten is maintaining being at the forefront and having their voices heard. And you're talking about college football playoff expansion, all of these things that are coming. You've got to have somebody, I think, that has experience at the collegiate level of how to navigate all these interchangings of what's going on. Because if you just get somebody from the entertainment business, what good is that going to do for you? I mean, I understand that at times when you're talking about maybe negotiating a TV deal, well, that's already in place.
It's in place.
So to me, I think you've got to get somebody that has some kind of experience, and maybe it's somebody that's already on the staff. I don't know.
Could be. There's, Jim Phillips, who was the longtime Northwestern AD, is now the commissioner of the ACC. A lot of people like Jim. I think that's a name that you will hear thrown out in the coming weeks. And I think he would come back. I think he would come back to the league, so he certainly knows the players in the league. Ronnie Green, who right before Christmas announced that he will be stepping down as Nebraska's chancellor in June, he told me a couple months ago, he said, Greg, I'm the second longest tenured president/chancellor in the league. So you have a lot of new people at the head of these universities that are going to be making this decision in the coming months. So big news. Kevin, I think it's a mixed bag, probably with a lot of people. The good was the TV deal is incredible, and I think the addition of UCLA and USC is pretty bold. We'll see if it works well, but it's pretty bold. And after the SEC went and got Oklahoma and Texas, I think the Big Ten probably felt like they needed to match that move, and I think those are two pretty good players.
To me, those were the second. That's who you want. That's who everybody was going to try to get at that point. That's the next whoever was in line. And if you're talking about strengthening a conference and then also adding to the TV revenue deal, that's the biggest part of it, right? Is who's going to add value to that TV package. USC, UCLA were going to be two programs that did that. You get that LA market, and I've heard a lot of coaches talking about how excited they are to get to go to California and open that pipeline up and convince kids, hey, we're going to come play here. If it's certain sports, you're going to play there twice a year potentially. So I think that was those were the two schools that if you had to pick who was next, that would be the 1A and 1B of people's choices of conferences that they wanted to add.
Agree. All right, 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the program. Let's go to North Platte. Jim wants to sound off on the commissioner. Good evening, Jim.
Yes. First of all, I want to wish you and Jessica a very happy new year. I would like to make two comments. Even just like I told, I can't think of what his name was.
Andrew.
That took the phone call. Yes, and I told him the Big Ten needs to get a commissioner in there. Is not favoritism to Ohio State and to basically Michigan. Ohio State has got into the playoffs 2 times. They should have not have been in there. And I want to make one final question to you and Jessica. I heard very positive that even Nebraska could be going back to the old fullback Iowa. Game. What do you guys think about that? Going back to the good old days, even the ground game. Thank you.
Jim, thanks. Yeah, Marcus Satterfield, who met with the media last week, did mention that his offense that he's going to implement here will include some fullback action. So you will definitely see, I think, the fullback make through. In fact, E.J. Barthel talked about that a little bit today. He was a college fullback.
Yes, and I think when we're talking fullback, it's, hey, this is not going to be the same type of fullback that we're in the 90s.
Correct.
The fullbacks now that you're seeing in college football, I mean, I came from Oklahoma where they utilized the fullback a lot, but it was more of like a hybrid tight end / you saw them lining up at running back, at tight end, at fullback. They were kind of a lead blocker. They did a lot of different things and very versatile. And Shane Beamer, actually, who was the head coach at South Carolina, was and they called it an H-back at Oklahoma, was that H-back coach there. And so I think it's more of that. Like you're talking about getting a very versatile player on the field in that regard. But yeah, I mean, he made a point that he's going to use the fullback and he's going to get those guys out there on the field, which I think is good. I think they add a lot of value, especially in this league.
I agree. While I was at the Outland Trophy dinner last night, some pretty big news is Walter Roush, the offensive tackle from Stanford, committed to Nebraska. 39 starts at Stanford.
Dude, let me just read.
Oh, I know where you're going. I got the same thing.
In all caps, right? I love Walter Roush. All caps with exclamation points. Jeremiah doesn't use all caps, and he doesn't use exclamation points. So if he's fired up, that's a big get.
Well, you just look at what they've done, and that they haven't. I thought maybe they'd be a little bit more active than they have been in the portal at this point in time. But you add Walter and then Ben Scott, the center from Arizona State. You've added 2 starting offensive linemen from the Pac-12. You get Nuri back off of his suspension, and you mix in Ben Hart and Turner and Teddy. I mean, you got the makings of a pretty good group, I think.
Yeah, and to me, it wasn't the lack of talent per se, and Jeremiah and I have dove into this multiple times on the podcast, but it wasn't so much that there wasn't talent on the offensive line. It was that there wasn't enough of it. It was the depth. There wasn't enough bodies. And we said that from fall camp that, hey, you got to have 10 guys on the line because at any given moment, one guy goes down. And look at Ben Hart. He goes down for 2 games, and it made a huge difference when he came back. Yeah. And so you've got to have guys that you could be able to sub in and out and not have a drop off. And I think that was the issue. And not knocking anybody, but you didn't have a lot of guys that had a lot of experience at being able to play and maintain that level of play. And then I also think the consistency of you had guys rotating around in and out. They couldn't get that chemistry built, but I do think you saw it at the end of the year. But to me, yes, I think you've got some good, talented guys, experienced guys with a guy like Nuri who's played a lot of football, and then you add some depth in that regard too. And 2 guys that, again, we talked about how hard it is to get offensive linemen out of the portal, and Nebraska got 2 of the bigger ones that were available this season.
We're going to hear from a couple of the assistant coaches. The running backs coach and the defensive backs coach met with the media earlier today. We'll have some clips of that coming up here in a few minutes. Also later this hour, Mark Manning's going to join us, Husker wrestling coach. They're back home. First time since the first week of November. We still have like 4 football games left. The last time they wrestled at the Devaney Center. They will have 2 duels. Minnesota, who's really solid, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's packed the Pepsi Pack the House night, dollar Pepsi products, dollar tickets to get in to watch Husker wrestling tomorrow night, and then Northwestern will be here on Sunday afternoon, so Mark Manning coming up in a little bit. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Back with some clips from the press conference from earlier today. That's coming up next.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. How did Jordan's interview go?
I'm not sure. Your brother isn't home yet. Oh, one sec. Someone's at the door.
Are you Mrs. Lewis?
Yes?
Mrs. Lewis, I'm Officer Taylor. Your son was in a crash and has died.
What?
He wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
No. No.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
Wilcher, no good. Rebound, Breidenbach. Fights for the offensive board. Second chance. Here's Griesel, deep left corner. Gary's three. Got it! Bang! 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 Ring!
Friday, Husker Hoops begins with pregame coverage at 5 p.m. on the men's side against Purdue in West Lafayette with a tip-off at 6 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you raise food corn for CVA, you can earn an additional $25,000 per quarter section. That's $100,000 more profit for every 4 quarters you farm. Do the same work, raise more profit. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres. solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Thursday night Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. A couple of the new assistant coaches had a little chance to interact with the media today. E.J. Barthel, the running backs coach, and Evan Cooper, the defensive backs coach, both met with the media. We'll start with E.J., and he was asked about what's your impression of the guys you have inherited on this football team.
Overall impressed. Truthfully, I thought, after evaluating the tape and looking at some of the guys in the roster, familiar with some of them other places, at Ramir at a high school. We got similar tracks. I coached at Bergen Catholic High School, so I'm familiar with Ramir and just really excited about the group. A lot of potential out there, and how they run the football, and I'm excited to work with that whole group. I really am.
This was a group that, at least at this point, Jessica, they haven't gone and gotten anybody from the portal.
They haven't needed to.
I think they feel like they're okay.
Yeah, because, you got Quentin Ives coming in, and which is obviously a E.J. Barthel guy,
right.
And I think you've seen that true freshmen can come in and play at running back. We saw it last year with A.J. Allen. Appears that A.J. Allen is coming back. Anthony Grant has already announced that he's coming back. Gabe Irvin hasn't announced. So you've got guys in that room already that
right.
You probably don't need to add any. You got a lot of guys, and you need a lot of running backs. But I think at this point, you don't need it. You don't need any more.
He was asked about recruiting at that position and how to get better at the running back spot.
Well, I tell you. You're saying as far as recruiting just running backs?
Recruit those guys that are already there.
Yeah, that's a new experience, right? I think with the transfer portal and all this stuff and with going on with guys going different programs for various different reasons. It wasn't a whole lot of recruiting, to be honest. It was more so of getting down. The first order of business when I got here was from Coach Rule, and it was to get with those guys and make sure that we put a face on a face and get my own impression of who they are after I've already watched the tape and things of that nature. But just really excited about every single one of the kids. I had great conversations with them, and in my room, it's we're people. It's obviously I'm their coach, and their players, but we're people. You know what I mean? And that communication part is really important to me. And I was really really comfortable with everybody in the group.
I'm surprised, but so happy that A.J. Allen is going to stay. And that's what you got to kind of keep recruiting the guys, even though they're in here because of the portal right now.
I think A.J. really likes it here. I think, he's, I've seen him involved with life skills stuff. And again, you're not that NIL is the end-all be-all, but you're not going to find a lot of places that have the kind of opportunities NIL-wise and just all the different things that are. A.J. Allen is a guy that I think it's important for him, the whole overall experience and being prepared as a student athlete, not just an athlete. And so I think for him, everything that kind of goes hand in hand with Nebraska. And again, going back to what I've said multiple times, I think a lot of these guys want to stick together because of how close they were before, and they know that they're close, and I think they want to stick it out with each other.
EJ was at UConn this past year, and they went from bottom feeder to a bowl team this year under Jim Mora Jr. He was asked about his experience here and how can he help translate that to turning Nebraska's program around.
Well, I played fullback, so I usually know what they look like when I see them. And when I saw Robert Burns, I initially thought that's what a fullback looks like, and he played tailback, and that was a huge challenge for him in the spring to change positions and do things that he's never done before. And I thought that he accepted that challenge and exceeded my expectations. I'm biased. I thought he was one of the best fullbacks in the country last year, and and I know Coach Satterfield and Coach Rule are excited about having a fullback here, and I got a chance to work with Alex Arma at Carolina Panthers and Gio Ricci and those guys, and and I played fullback. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to get my hands on one for sure. Absolutely.
He looks like a fullback.
He does. He's pretty well put together. He does. And they use it at UConn, and they converted a guy over for that, and so they'll be on the lookout. I don't know who that's going to be at Nebraska. I don't know who that. They'll find somebody.
And again, I think too, it's about being versatile, and we've heard that from Coach Satterfield. We've heard it from E.J. Barthel said it. It was one of the quotes that I had read about. He talked about when he was at UConn about he wants guys that can do a lot of different things. You have to be the ultimate team player. You got to play on special teams and all these. You have to be good in pass protection and all these other things. And so I think that's part of, too, the fullback is being able to do a lot of different things. Catch the football, block, run, special teams, all of it. And so I think that kind of fits with the mold of what this offensive coaching staff seems to be looking for.
Andrew, I'm going to skip the last one. We're going to go to Cooper. We're kind of running out of some time here. So Evan Cooper, the defensive backs coach, also met with the media today, and he's gotten a lot of praise from Matt Rule. Matt says, I really trust Evan. When Evan tells me he likes a guy on tape, we're usually going to go with that. He was asked, how did you earn that reputation with the coach?
That's a good question. It's probably a better question for Coach, but me and Coach Rule are pretty close. And I've probably been talking to him throughout the entire process. And I just told him when he's ready for me, we'll hop on the jet and we'll go. And he said, well, how about tomorrow? And we hopped on the jet, and the rest is history. That was 6 weeks ago. The rest is history.
There's a lot. Those two are connected. Matt Rule, I think, really trusts Evan Cooper's eye for talent. Pretty apparent.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's been an important part and by his side for a long time. And what he said about, jumping on the jet and let's go, a lot of these guys that play for Coach Rule are saying the same thing, that when he says, hey, you want to come be a part of my staff, they're jumping on that opportunity because they buy in and they believe, and I think Evan Cooper leads the charge in that regard.
Evan was asked about what's this staff, what's Matt Rule's vision, and how the recruiting part of it. Is there a blueprint for it? And just kind of talk to someone about that, and here was his response.
We have really like minds. We have the same type when it comes to like people and players and talent levels. It's really easy for me, to be honest, because just the program and the way that we push the kids. Really, I just need to find the kids with the talent to be able to do it. And they don't always have to look exactly how they, how people think they should look. But if they have the talent, the necessary skills, the program will kind of push them to be great. In the classroom and on the field will take care of itself. Like, we just ask them to do a lot of hard stuff, be 10%ers. And so it's really easy for me. And I kind of feel like I cheated because I got this reputation. And I just learned it all from Coach. So, yeah.
I think, Jessica, he was the one that when you talked to the track coach, that they went to Evan and said,
yes,
look at this guy's tape. And I think he's like, yep, that's a guy that we think we can work with.
Yeah, no, that was Brenton Emmanuel. Yeah, he said that it was Bryce Turner was wanting to play football and track and run track, and there weren't a lot of programs that were looking at him as a football player. Everybody in the country wanted him as a track star. He's one of the top in the nation. But, he wasn't getting a lot of looks for football. But, that's where this football staff, Evan Cooper, leads the way in that, is that it doesn't matter stars. It doesn't matter if nobody has offered them, that they see something on film of guys that work for them. And that interview with Brenton Emmanuel, we played it the other night, but it's on our YouTube channel. It's fascinating to hear. They did the research on Coach Rule and the staff at Baylor, and it was like they had half the 4x4 team on the track team, all the guys that they had on the football team that ran track as well. They like those track guys. And so, yeah, he, once this staff got into place, Brenton reached out to Evan Cooper, said, hey, we have this guy. And he said, send me his film. And it was 5 minutes later that everything unfolded. They offered him, and here he is. He was the first commit of this new coaching staff.
We'll leave you with this. Evan was asked to assess the guys that he has inherited from the previous team.
Well, I'm a film junkie, so I have been able to do that. I'm very pleased with what we have here. I think we have some NFL DBs on the roster, guys that look like the guys that just finished coaching. I think we have a good blend of young players, inexperienced players, older vets, mature guys, guys who've been in programs for 4 or 5 years. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I love recruiting. But I just really, right now, I'm really looking forward to getting in and coaching. That's my first love. Coaching is my first love. I just kind of know what Coach likes, so we do the recruiting part. But I just can't wait to get to coach those guys. I talked to Marquise Buford a lot, with his situation, and we just always talk. We have like minds, so I like those guys. I love Gifford. I love him. What's there not to like? Quentin. Those guys are great. Malcolm, we talk all the time. You know, it's a good group. It's a good group. They play some good football. They play hard. They play hard. They play hard. When you watch them, it's pretty good for me because that's what the program is going to be based on, just hard work and playing hard and effort and toughness, and they have that, so it's been good. I'm excited.
I love that. I love that. And that's one of the first things I told you. My brother reached out to me after one of the football games and how much he loved Quentin Newsome because of how hard he plays. I think there's no doubt that they lay it all out there every single game, and it's a great group. I mean, yeah. Andrew and I have talked about it for a year now, how much we love that group, and so I'm glad that they're staying. I like that he likes them too. That defense has a chance to be way better than it was this past year. Folks, check out the Husker Extra mobile app from the team at Lincoln Journal-Star. It's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download that today. We'll come back, talk some Husker wrestling with the head coach next.
Wilcher, no good. Rebound, Breidenbach fights for the offensive board. Second chance. Here's Griesel, deep left corner. Gary's three, got it! Bang! 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 Ring!
Friday, Husker Hoops begins with pregame coverage at 5 p.m. on the men's side against Purdue in West Lafayette with a tip-off at 6 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. For the 5th straight year, the University of Nebraska system is a top 100 patent-earning institution. NU system researchers were granted 43 patents in 2021, with UNL researchers named as inventors on 25 of these patents. Husker patents include 3 projects with partners at the University of Nebraska Medical Center and 6 patents for a surgical robot developed by faculty in the College of Engineering.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. The Royd Road Warriors are home, folks. The Husker wrestling team will have a couple of duels this weekend. Friday night at the Devaney Center, 8 o'clock, as they take on the Gophers, and then Northwestern comes to town Sunday at 2. I'm delighted to be joined tonight by Husker wrestling coach Mark Manning. His first home appearance since I think the first week of November. Is that right?
Yeah. We've been on the road a lot, and just kind of how the schedules worked out. We owed South Dakota State a match, and then going down to Campbell last weekend, we wanted to do a home and home, and so yeah, it's been kind of a gut check being on the road, even in the months of November when we went out East Coast, and we went out again back to the Navy Classic the end of November. So these guys have got some frequent flyer miles going.
No doubt. Well, you've been on a bit of a roll too, and I think maybe it's coincided with the fact that you're healthier. Would that be fair?
For sure, Greg. I think having Bubba Wilson at 165, and then Lenny Pinto, who's a redshirt freshman. Both these guys have done amazing things. Bubba took fourth at the Las Vegas tournament, so that shows, there's 33 teams there, and Michigan was there, Ohio State was there, Virginia Tech, NC State, so there are a lot of good, competition there, and Lenny also took fifth, so both those guys have really shown, what they can do in the lineup, and we're excited about our future.
And you won the Cliff Keen Invitational. You've kind of made that an annual right. That's pretty impressive to do.
Absolutely. I think, that really sparked our team. I think, just seeing, our guys went in very underranked, like Brock Hardy won the tournament. Well, he entered the tournament, I think he was seated 8th or 9th, There again, Silas Allred wasn't ranked, wasn't even seated. Lenny wasn't seated. Peyton Robb won the weight class, and Mikey Labarola won the weight class. So really good stuff. We just had a great team togetherness and unity really showed up there, and our guys are just getting better. Our team's building.
Peyton, we had him on a few weeks ago, just a delightful young guy to talk to, and you mentioned Brock Hardy. Tell us more about him. He grabbed that 141 spot that C.J. Red's kind of occupied for the last 4 or 5 years. Tell me about this young man.
Wow, what a unique young guy. He grew up on a farm in Utah, Mormon background. We had signed him, it feels like, back in like 2018 or 2017. And he went on his Mormon mission for 2 years, came back, redshirted. Well, it's COVID year, and then he redshirted last year. So him, Silas Allred, Lenny Pinto, all were kind of that class, you know, guys that were kind of the unforgettable type of guys that you forgot about. Where are they? Who are these guys, right? And so they were really good wrestlers. They were in the room, they were backups, and COVID happened, so people forgot about them, and now they're making their way and making a splash for us as Huskers.
Well, I know people will be excited to see them this weekend. Again, the Gophers at 8 o'clock Friday, and then Northwestern in the early afternoon on Sunday, 2 o'clock at the Devaney Center. Liam Cronin, what kind of year has he had to this point? Where's the bar for him as you move into the meat of this season?
Well, one, just keeping Liam healthy is really good, and he's a dangerous guy. He took third at Las Vegas. He was started the season a little banged up, like a lot of our guys, but he's really just growing into his own style and his own pace for the competition. So he's just wrestling really well, wrestling really confident, and you know, he's got two All-Americans this weekend back to back in the Minnesota young man Patrick McKee, and then D'Agostino from Northwestern. So both those guys were third and fourth in the nation. So Liam's got a great challenge on his hand.
Gophers will put some wrestlers on the mat, won't they? These folks will be entertained on Friday night.
Oh, it'll be very entertaining. It's going to be some great matchups. You know, Peyton Robb wrestles a guy he's never beat. Brayton Lee started the season, I think, ranked number 2. So there's going to be some great individual matchups, and dual meets are all about matchups, and you know, we just have to win more than they do. But there's going to be some great battles, and I think on Sunday too. You know, Northwestern actually beat Minnesota last week to start this Big Ten season, and they also took 6th in the nation last year. They had 5 All-Americans, so they're a tough team. They're a tough out. So we're going to have our A game this weekend.
Folks, tomorrow night it's a daughter night. Pepsi Pack the House, daughter tickets, daughter Pepsi products. You're going to have a little high school duel at Devaney before that. Lincoln East, Lincoln Southeast. That's going to be a big kick for those kids to come out and wrestle at Devaney.
Yeah, they're really looking forward to it, and it's going to be great having those guys wrestle before the duels. And we try to do it every year. It's unfortunate the rest of the year most of our duels are on Sunday. You know, just how Big Ten set it up. So this is our only Friday night one, so we fit it in, and those guys they were good enough to say, hey, let's move the duel over to Devaney, and so it's really great, and gives those guys a great opportunity.
Oh, it'll be a lot of fun. Again, that's tomorrow night. They start at 5:30 is when that action begins, and then 8 o'clock for the Huskers and the Gophers. Coach, this has been a really long break between semesters. It seems like I don't even think school starts for another 10 days. How has that been beneficial, or how has that kind of gotten you out of your routine a little bit?
Great question. It's, you know, we brought our guys back on the 26th. It was all those storms going on. Yeah. It took, you know, a number of guys a couple days to get back. But it's a long training period to not have school, not to have other things, you know. Our guys are going to be professional gamers, you know, by the time school starts, you know. You can only do so many 2-a-day practices, and you got to keep guys' interest and intact, and you got to keep you know, just their focus. So you got to make practices fun. You got to keep things, you know, with good energy, and that's what we're really conscientious about that. And we do several different things, and got to give, you know, off days and breaks and rehab and all that stuff, but you also have to keep them dialed in and focused on, you know, each and every week what's important right now in front of them. And so we just try to keep that message in their mind all the time and keep them focused on what they have to do this week. And so yeah, like you said, Greg, school doesn't start till the 23rd. You know, it's you know, they're a professional wrestler here. They've been a professional wrestler for a while.
I just don't remember a semester starting as late as it is this year. Usually it's the week of Martin Luther King, and that's Monday, and it's another Monday after that before you start. Crazy.
Yeah, it's unique, very unique, and it's tough on these guys. It's different. It's just different. We've got to keep them occupied the right way, and our guys stay pretty dialed in, and they're very, our team has got such great culture. They hang out with each other, and they enjoy each other's company, and it's a big, special part of having great success.
Right.
Having culture, what is culture? People make it up for a lot of different things, but people love each other. They want to spend time with each other, and you got to keep that love for the sport, growing all the time, and in their mind where they're relaxed, but they're enjoying it.
Well, congratulations on the recent success. It's been fun to see some of these results come in over the last 6 weeks with your team. If you need a map on how to find the Devaney Center, we can maybe deal with that, because it's been over 2 months since you've. And I know you hope you have a great crowd. I think you will tomorrow night against Minnesota.
I do too. I think Husker fans are they love watching this team. They wrestle really hard, and our guys are going to be. It's going to be a super special part of this season. It's got come up right now.
Good stuff. It'll be fun tomorrow night. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks. Mark
Manning with us here on Sports Night. Again, Huskers and Gophers tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at the Devaney Center. And then on Sunday, they'll welcome the Northwestern Wildcats for a 2 o'clock duel, also at the Devaney Center. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back to wrap up this hour next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratch-a-rooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. Had it in the ticker, but Juwan Gary didn't make the trip. It's going to be tough tomorrow night at Purdue.
Yeah, you need all hands on deck, right, to beat a team like Purdue. And Juwan Gary does so many good things that don't always show up on the stat sheet. But look what he did in the overtime against Minnesota. I mean, he's just a guy that is physical, has the long arms, is great on the defensive end. It's tough to lose him, especially going to play at Purdue.
He does a lot of the kind of dirty work.
Yes,
he
absolutely does.
A lot of box
he does. Him and Emmanuel Bandamel really set the tone on the defensive end.
Yeah, so they'll miss him tomorrow night. 6 o'clock tip tomorrow, so no show for us. 5 o'clock for pregame coverage, Kent and Jake. Hopefully KP's voice is hanging in there. It's a little raspy the other
night. Get his
money. Yeah,
some of Damon's candy cough drops.
Exactly. Folks, buckle up with the phone at a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Our women's basketball show with head coach Amy Williams coming up on the other side.
300 is in the building.
How about that?
hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter agents Jeff Bond or Reed Duvall in Lincoln for a free insurance review.
This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Show with head coach Amy Williams. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Strom moving left to right at the head of the key, gives to Franklin, who moves right to left, spins around Widener, and Widener blocks it. Big time block for Allison Widener.
That is filthy right there by Allison Widener.
At top board, high lob underneath for Mendelson, catches it, and she scores off the assist from Izzy Moore.
I'll tell you what, she is making immediate impact.
Markowski, Shelley, and Moriarty. Huskers lead by 1, just under 2 minutes to go in the third. Heidi down the right lane line, challenges and scores. Put it up over Hatsa-Leonti. Shelley to throw it in baseline left, into Markowski, back to Jazz, three-pointers, you betcha! In the deep left corner, off the screen assist from Markowski. Bourne series for Nebraska. Ivy around a Mendelson screen, deep right side, Izzy, Bourne three, yeah! Betcha! That's a Central Valley 8-3 from Izzy Bourne, off the assist from Ivy. Stand up, Husker fans! This is a great win for Nebraska. They knock off previously undefeated Kansas, their second win over a top 20 team this year, and the Huskers in 3 overtimes defeat Kansas 85-79 tonight in Lincoln.
Here is your host, Matt Coatney, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Sports Nightly. Matt Coatney with you on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. And sitting across from me is a coach who has won 300 college games after last night, Amy Williams. Andrew, our producer, is applauding with the win last night. The Huskers defeated Penn State 80-51 at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Amy Williams, every time the Huskers play a home game in the middle of the week, and then I go to work the next day, usually at least 2 people, maybe 3 in my office building will want to ask me something about the game. And today I spent 60% of my day in Lincoln, 40% of my day in Omaha at various meetings. It would not be a stretch or an exaggeration to say 50 people asked me not about the game last night, but about Kendall Moriarty's heave miracle 3 at the buzzer. And it has caught the fancy, not only of Husker Nation, it's gone viral because it went #1 on SportsCenter's top 10 plays of the day. And Scott Van Pelt had it as his one big thing, or the thing I like to see. So you now have 2 players on your team who have been the #1 highlight on ESPN SportsCenter, because Sam Hybe on New Year's Eve against Northwestern 2 years ago with her buzzer beater. Is that a requirement when you go out to recruit, that you end up having a potential to be on SportsCenter's top 10 plays? Is that what you tell your staff?
Yeah, I mean, that's on the top of the list. I tell them when we're searching for players, don't bring them to me if they can't make buzzer beaters. So,
unbelievable.
No.
Now, I know Kendall Moriarty has had several nicknames through the years. Kamo is usually what you guys have been calling her, but does she have a new nickname now? Because I have one. Horse.
Horse.
Because that shot, if you make that shot, you win every horse game.
You're right. You're right
Okay.
about that. There's not going to be very many people that can back that one up.
402-413-2400 is the number if you'd like to be on with Coach Williams, either via phone or we'll take your text messages on your text message machine. Okay, so that caught everybody's attention, and it overshadowed all kinds of great things. First of all, the Huskers got a win and needed it badly. Beat a great Penn State team, and in front of your great fan base. Izzy Bourne got her 1,000th career point. We'll talk about that tonight. Jazz Shelley won, rebound away from her second career triple-double. But I want to talk about an individual accomplishment for you, and I know you don't like making it about yourself, but 300 wins is significant. That is a milestone, and if you're on Twitter, the number of people who were congratulating you after that broadcast last night was something else. How does it feel getting 300 wins?
Yeah, to be honest, it wasn't even really on my radar that was coming, or that was going to be something that was accomplished. And I had a lot of priorities that were bigger to me than trying to get to that point. But I will say that I feel so blessed because I've just, I've been surrounded with an amazing staff of people that have poured into making that happen. And some of those staff, people like Tandem Mays that have been with me for every single one of those 300 wins. But today I did get just a little weepy because of, the former players that played at Kearney and Oklahoma State, even when I was an assistant and I wasn't winning games as a head coach, but several of my Rogers State former players and Coyotes from South Dakota and many former Huskers that I was blessed to coach that reached out to me, and just hearing from all those amazing young women, it just reminds me just how special it's been for me to just have all those people in my life.
402-413-2400 is the number. Amy Williams is with us for the full hour here on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour. First, let me remind you to check out the Husker Extra mobile app from the team at Lincoln Journal-Star, and it's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. So, along with your 300th win, last night it was Australia night, and I made the comment on air that I should have learned the words to the Australian national anthem so I could have walked out and sang them. And then a fan sent me the lyrics right in the middle of the pregame show. So, Roger, I appreciate that. Awesome. But I thought that was great. Australia's been great to you, not just here at Nebraska, but throughout your coaching career. Every coach, I think, has areas that they've been very successful in recruiting. But why has Australia been good to you, even going back to your days? You mentioned South Dakota, but when you were there with Nicole Seacamp and others you have, what do you feel good about getting players out of Australia?
Well, number one, there are a lot of incredibly talented, high IQ basketball players that play the game there, that have been training and learning the game the right way, but that have a lot of success in the system and style of play that we like to play. But I think the big thing is I just had assistant coaches who had really done a great job of establishing relationships in Australia with coaches, and then we had a couple players that came over and played in our program and had success and really enjoyed their experiences and grew as basketball players and improved and were in positions to accomplish their goals at the highest level in Australia. And so that certainly trickles down and word of that spreads. And then there's no secret that a big part of Izzy Bourne being at Nebraska is Kelsey Griffin. And, having a former Husker, I didn't get the pleasure of coaching Kelsey Griffin, but she had such a positive experience at the University of Nebraska that she really was able to share that with Izzy Bourne and her family as she was making the decisions about where she wanted to be. So I think the comfort level with just Nebraska as a whole and our coaching staff having coached Australian players and really helped them accomplish their goals is leading to some pretty good opportunities for us to continue to have success in recruiting in that area.
And I mentioned this a little bit on the post-game show last night, alluding to your 300th win and how it's appropriate that you got your 300th win coaching Nebraska. You've been other places as a head coach, but you, I think, embody what I think as a guy who's been the radio voice of this team for a long time. What I think about is the superlative part of being a Nebraska women's basketball player. And I think about the players in my time. If someone said to me, give me the name of a Husker that if you just had to say through the years, this is what it's about. I'm going to talk about Dominique Kelly, who's now coaching at Lincoln East. I'm going to talk about Chelsea Aubry.
Lincoln High.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
She won't love it. I don't think her players will love it if you said Lincoln East.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. At Lincoln High.
Yeah.
This is what I get for working with Jeff Grease. He's always talking about where his goes to school. Neek, I know you're at Lincoln High, by the way. Yeah. Chelsea Aubry, who was a captain of the Canadian national team, played in the Olympics. But then you mentioned Kelsey Griffin, who is she's like family to me, and that goes to show the quality of people. And I think Izzy Bourne is right in that kind of ilk to where when she finishes her great career, you're going to look back at her and maybe not remember the rebounds or the points, but how she played the game and represented the program. And for her to get 1,000 points last night was very special, and I know you guys are going to give her a memento of that before the Ohio State game. But you've talked about recruiting her and getting that relationship with Kelsey Griffin, but did you imagine that Izzy was going to be the kind of leader and captain and Husker that she has really turned out to be here?
I mean, yeah, we really dreamed that she had that in her. We knew that she was kind of special in that way, and just a workhorse and a steady, sturdy, just consistent, dependable type of player that we look for in our program. And she's certainly exceeded expectations, but I think, that was the hope when we were bringing her into the program, is that we knew she had that in her.
402-413-2400 is the number if you'd like to visit with Coach Williams tonight. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Let's take a look at some of our text already. Artie from Diller says, congratulations on your 300th win, Coach. Wow, what an awesome night last night. Sure glad we didn't leave early. Can you give us an update on Trinity Brady? Artie from Diller.
Yeah, thank you for the text. And, Trinity Brady is just focusing right now on trying to get herself healthy so that, she can, that's our number one priority with her right now, is just locking in and focusing on her health.
I know you'll be surprised that Art in Los Angeles has texted in, and he says, with all the great things that happened at the game, could it have something to do with Amy's Sweet 16 lucky shoes? Now, your shoe game was solid last night. I got to tell you that. I know you don't like me making a big deal about it, but Art brings it up, so I have to ask you about it then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are my daughters picked the shoes out then. So,
is that right?
Yeah, a lot of times they're the deciding factor on just what kind of outfit we're going to wear, what shoes go best with it, and so yeah, I just leave it up to them.
Let's see here. Carla on our text line says, Coach Williams, of all the players you have coached, where does Kendall's shot last night rank in degree of difficulty? That's a great question, Carla.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be right up there near the top. So I was reminded today on social media that when we were making our trek to the WNIT Championship, my last year at South Dakota, we played Oregon in the semifinal matchup, and I think we hit 16 threes in that ball game, and one of those was a ball gets knocked away towards half court, and we had a player that kind of retrieved that basketball and just had to step through and one hand chuck it up to beat the shot clock, and somehow that splashed through for one of those 16 made threes. So between those two plays, I don't know. I mean, degree of difficulty, I don't know. Sam Hybe's game winner in that Northwestern game, under the basket, pinned under, offensive rebound, and scooped that thing back in. I'm not 100% sure. So those are the three that come into mind for degree of difficulty, but Kendall's is probably right up there. I think a lot of people are making a deal about, but there was a 3-second differential between the shot clock and game clock, and so Kendall is trying to avoid another turnover for the Huskers. If she would have held that ball right there, it would have been a turnover with a shot clock buzzer violation. So we're not disappointed in the least that she chucked it up and tried to hit the rim just to keep us from turning it over again. But miraculously, it just went in the hoop, and sometimes crazy stuff happens in this game.
I've rewound the highlights several times. My favorite part that I didn't see live was Maddie Kroll was probably at the 28-foot line in the forecourt. She walks with her hands up like this over towards Kendall and does the classic Elaine from Seinfeld two-hand chest push, like, get out, like that's my favorite part of the shot.
I think my favorite was Maggie Mendelson.
Is that right?
She just, our 17-year-old Maggie Mendelson's out on the court, and she just puts one hand to her mouth like, Oh, did that just happen? That was so cute.
Carla, thank you. Your stories are all around you and in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where they come to life. Go to lincolnjournalstar.com/story. Subscribe today and read on any digital device. This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Matt Coatney, Coach Amy Williams with you. On our text line, Andy says, great game last night. Congratulations on the win. You guys needed a win last night, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did that kind of wash out the taste of that Rutgers game at least a little bit?
I'll
take that as a yes, is what I'll take that from.
Yes.
That's not bad. Let me see here. Mark in Omaha. Coach, I really like the defense with the feet and verticality, but repeated, I think that's the word he's trying to use there, missed layups are not acceptable. What can we do? Not a lot of missed layups last night. I think maybe the Rutgers game might be what he's referring to. But your defense was really good last night. How did you feel about your defense?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I thought our defense was pretty good in each of the last two ball games. I think we gave up 57 points at Rutgers and 51, and we feel like both of those need to be good enough to win ball games. But, I thought our team has been pretty locked into defensive game plans, and last night I thought they played really disciplined. And there were a few missed layups where, we got up and then we kind of had a little bit of a lack of focus and capitalized on a couple run-out layups. But I think, we just stayed diligent and keep working and keep grinding, and I think those things will eventually work themselves out.
Mitch from David City on our text line at 402-413-2400. Mitch from David City wants to know what makes Jazz Shelley a complete player for the Huskers. It seems like she can do it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew she was an incredibly complete player when we started to recruit her. We could see that with, the teams that she was playing with, on the national level and in Australia. And, she just has great skill set and confidence and IQ for the game. And so I think, she's such a great defender because she can anticipate what people are going to do and put herself in the right positions, and she's gifted enough athletically to put herself in the positions to do that. And she sees the floor well, and just really has a way of passing people into open positions and putting them in great positions to be able to score. And so I think, her assists, her steals, her block shots, her ability to gather some rebounds and chase down loose balls and stuff. She just has a really good feel for the game and IQ for the game. And just, I think that's what really helps her be that complete player.
Well, the Huskers take on third-ranked Ohio State Saturday at 1:30 at Pinnacle Bank Arena. You want to give away some tickets?
Let's do it.
All right, Jeff Grease has a trivia question. So the first one to text the answer to this trivia question with the correct answer at 402-413-2400 will pick up 4 tickets to the Ohio State game on Saturday at PBA. As Nebraska prepares to face unbeaten and number 3 Ohio State at PBA Saturday afternoon, when was the last time the Huskers beat a top 5 team at home? When was the last time Nebraska women's basketball beat a top 5 team at home? 402-413-2400. Text your answers. If you don't have a text machine, have a friend text it in for you. And when we come back from the break, the first person with the correct answer picks up 4 tickets to Saturday's game. We'll have more with a coach when the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour returns in just a few moments.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for your next SUV and experience the difference. We offer a full lineup of SUVs so you can find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. The GMC Terrain and Acadia offer the perfect blend of tech and safety on the road. Or discover the style, comfort, and cargo space of the Buick Enclave. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Wilcher, no good. Rebound, Breidenbach fights for the offensive board. Second chance. Here's Griesel, deep left corner. Gary's three, got it! Bang! 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 Ring!
Friday, Husker Hoops begins with pregame coverage at 5 p.m. on the men's side against Purdue in West Lafayette with a tip-off at 6 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Nebraska caps a 2-game homestand next week at Pinnacle Bank Arena by battling unbeaten and number 3 Ohio State this Saturday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. General admission tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for youth and seniors. Get your tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call the Nebraska Athletic Ticket Office during regular business hours at 1-800-8-BIG-RED. That's 1-800-8-BIG-RED. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you raise food corn for CVA, you can earn an additional $25,000 per quarter section. That's $100,000 more profit for every 4 quarters you farm. Do the same work, raise more profit. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at CVACoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Matt Coatney and the coach, Amy Williams, with us. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. Now, when Jeff Greash, my wonderful broadcast partner, the media relations director for the team, gave me this trivia question to give away 4 tickets, he goes, this is a layup this week. It's too easy. We do not have a winner. And a lot of people came in with guesses like Maryland, Kansas, Michigan last year. I should say we do have a winner. Art in Los Angeles has the correct answer, but he's in Los Angeles, so he can't use the tickets on Saturday. So I'm not going to give you the answer yet. So all of you people, we do have a winner now. Hold on. We do have a winner just this second. Jim in Columbus has the correct answer. As Nebraska prepares to face unbeaten and number 3 Ohio State at Pinnacle Bank Arena on Saturday afternoon. When was the last time the Huskers beat a top 5 team at home? Jim in Columbus correctly has identified number 5 Indiana on Valentine's Day last year, 72-55. Jim, if you could text in your contact information, your phone number, and an email, and then we will get to you the information on how to pick up your tickets on Saturday. Do you remember that win over Indiana on Valentine's Day last year?
Oh, yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Well, I have several pictures, one big one in my office from that game, just sheer joy on my players' faces. We were kind of wearing the alternate uniform last year for the February Black History Month.
Yes.
And so I have some great memories captured from that game, but I just remember our team playing with great joy and a lot of celebration and fun.
And speaking of Indiana, 6th-ranked Indiana has just defeated number 9 Maryland 68-61 seconds ago in Bloomington, a Maryland team that Nebraska run-ruled in College Park. And so that was a really good win for your team last year on Valentine's Day. So Jim in Columbus, again, if you could text in your email and your phone number, and then we will reply to you soon with how to pick up those tickets when you get to the game. Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle and Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavor abilities. I want to get back to Jazz Shelley. One of our texters was talking about what makes her such a complete player. She had a tough game against Rutgers. Your whole team did. I'm not trying to single out Jazz Shelley, but only the second time in her Husker career she didn't score any points. And I really thought last night that it was a Jazz Shelley game, filling the whole box score. You mentioned block shots, steals, assists, 1 rebound away from a triple-double. And I asked you on the postgame show, sometimes does good defense start your offense? And you said that. I think that's especially true with Jazz Shelley. When she's blocking shots from behind, for example, it just seems like her offense comes to her. She got a good start. She hit her first 3. Was there a special focus that Jazz had on maybe bouncing back off that Rutgers game that you know of?
To be honest with you, I think she's just really tried to stay with the grind. I mean, she's talked a lot about what self-talk should look like with her and how to positively talk to herself, just trusting her training and knowing that she's put in the work. And so I think just leaning back into that and knowing, she's shot hundreds of thousands of shots probably, in her lifetime, and to prepare for these moments and being able to lean into that and trust her training. And so not really reinventing the wheel, not really having to try or do anything different. It's mostly just continuing to work and remain confident, and I think she did just a great job of staying with it.
Check out the Husker Extra mobile app from the team at Lincoln Journal-Star. It's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. If you would like to be a part of the show, the Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned cars, you can always find what you are looking for at Woodhouse. And that Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline with your calls and text is 402-413-2400. So, I don't want to belabor the Rutgers game too much, but as a coach, do you, when you go through a tough game like that, is there a lot of talk from the coaches, or do you see if the team kind of takes that internally, or is every team a little different? What was your approach to kind of letting that get washed through in terms of trying to improve, not necessarily on the court, but just kind of talking it through? Was there a lot of coaching in terms of input from the coaches, or did the players have a lot to say? How did that work?
Yeah, I've just found with this particular team, we've got really strong leaders that I want to hear their opinions. And so I think the best thing is really just getting their input and kind of letting them kind of vet things through and talk about what they were seeing and feeling and think is going well and think is going wrong. And obviously we want to take that into account as coaches and really value their feedback and input and then utilize that with the breakdown of some of our film and stuff to try to figure out ways that we can continue on our quest to become the very best team that we're capable of. And, so then that usually leads to a little bit later, sessions where we can, work and grind through sometimes some stuff. It's not always pleasant,
Sure.
To have to go through some of those hard lessons. But we say all the time in our program, is that we do hard well, like that's something that we want to be known for, is just handling the hard and being ready for curveballs that are coming our way and not letting that veer us off of our path and our track. And that is to continuously improve to be the best team that we're capable of. And so I'm really proud of our team for not letting that really veer us off, getting right back onto the path, getting right back to work, and then bouncing back with the win that we had last night.
Buckle up and put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Last night, Nebraska defeated Penn State 80-51, and I think it started with rebounding. We talked in our pregame interview about turnovers and how highly ranked Penn State was in terms of turning teams over. And you turned it over 22 times, which is not a great number at all. Didn't seem to be significant in terms of how the game turned out. I think primarily because how dominant your team was on the glass. How do you feel about your team's rebounding last night?
I thought that was huge. It was just a huge piece, and we had talked about after the Rutgers game, there was, lots of opportunities for us to improve in that area, but I thought it started really with Alexis Markowski, and she just came out on a mission, and she had 10 first-half rebounds. I told our team that our goal was to have 2 double-figure rebounders in that ball game somehow, some way. If we wanted to win, we needed to really take care of the boards. And Lex took that to heart and really sparked us there. I thought was crashing the offensive glass with effort and intensity. She was disciplined on her defensive box outs and coming away strong with 2 hands on rebounds and came away with 10. I told her at halftime that if she came away with 20, that I would count that as the 2 different double-figure rebounders. She could count as 2 for herself, but she really set the tone for our team in that area, and I thought that won us a ball game.
402-413-2400 if you'd like to visit with Coach Williams. We'll take your calls or texts tonight till the top of the hour. The look on Alexis Markowski's face last night looked like somebody that was not going to be denied. And she had that look that she was so determined to really win the game. She isn't sneaking up on anybody this year. Preseason first team All Big Ten. Last year, Big Ten Freshman of the Year. But now with the injury to Allison Widener especially, we talked about Trinity Brady earlier in the show. But, I've tried to tell some people during your 3 games since the Widener injury that it's tough because of all that Allison Widener did for the team, taking her away. And I thought one of the biggest impacts is how Alexis Markowski gets guarded, because you take away Allison Widener, who is so great in getting into the paint. Now, Sam Hybee does that also. Sam Hybee, maybe invented that for this team, but she's kind of coming back a little bit off that injury. But are teams playing Markowski a little bit different with Widener out? And how tough has it been for your team to kind of get your sea legs on how the rotations are without Allison in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an adjustment. There's no doubt about it. It's kind of a combination of we're adjusting to life without Allison. We're adjusting to life without Trinity Brady. We're adjusting to adding Sammy back into the rotation and adding Maggie Mendelson into the rotation, and all of those things combined at the same time that you're starting to play teams, as you mentioned, conference teams here after Christmas that are quite familiar with our entire roster, including Alexis Markowski and all that she has done and means to our team. And so there are quite good schemes to try to limit what she's able to get done, and they're throwing a lot of different double teams at times into the paint, and that's creating open opportunities. And so as we're working through some of that and just kind of adjusting to all of those things, sometimes there's going to be some bumps in the road, but I have no doubt that this team will continue to work and grind and smooth that stuff out as we move forward and continue becoming the best team we're capable of.
Friends, your stories are all around you, and in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where they come to life. Go to lincolnjournalstar.com/story. Subscribe today and read on any digital device. When we return, we'll take a look at who Nebraska is playing Saturday. Number 3, Ohio State. We'll take more of your calls and text at 402-413-2400 when the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show returns in just a few moments.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratch-a-rooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Wilcher, no good. Rebound, Breidenbach. Fights for the offensive board. Second chance. Here's Griesel, deep left corner. Gary's three. Got it! Bang! 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 Ring!
Friday, Husker Hoops begins with pregame coverage at 5 p.m. on the men's side against Purdue in West Lafayette with a tip-off at 6 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisem. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Hey friends, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Amy Williams is here with us. We'll take your calls and your text through the end of the show at 402-413-2400. Do you ever wish you could make your own conference schedule? And they didn't tell you who's here you're going to play? Because you got number 3 Ohio State coming in here Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central. I mean,
I mean, the truth is, this league is so strong, top to bottom, and we're learning that. I mean, you just you have to be so ready to play every single night out. So I guess putting together your own schedule, it's still going to be tough every night out and every time you turn around. And that's what we love about playing in the Big Ten is, to be the best, you got to play the best, and we get to do that in our league every single night. But
now, you see, that sounded like an advertisement for you replacing Kevin Warren as Big Ten commissioner, because he announced today he's going to become the president of the Chicago. So is that, can we have breaking news now? Are you staying here, or are you non-committal, or are you going to evaluate that?
I'll tell you, I did get a phone call from Kevin Warren last night for the 300th win.
Is that right?
Yeah, and
That's
then
nice.
just shortly after, he's going to the Bears. And
So he waited for you to get 300 before he committed to going to the Bears.
My point was that he was so kind to reach out to me at a time when there's a lot of transition kind of happening in his life, but still was a priority for him to reach out to one of his women's basketball head coaches on that accomplishment, and so I was grateful to him for that.
Wow, I mean, I was obviously poking fun here, and I got a great story out of it, so that's wonderful. Kevin McGuff has done a great job at Ohio State. They're undefeated. They're at the top of the league. They're ranked 3rd, and this is what I said, and I want to make sure everybody kind of understands what I was talking about last night. They've got great players. I'm not trying to say that. But when you look around the league, the favorite to be the league MVP is probably Caitlin Clark at Iowa, and I think everybody knows about Grace Berger at Indiana, and Diamond Miller at Maryland, and you can name off some well-known players around the league. Jazz Shelley and Alexis Markowski and Sam Ivey. Everybody in the league knows those players. But I think your average fan in the Big Ten couldn't name off most of Ohio State's starting lineup. And I think that's a testament to how tough they are to prepare for, maybe, as a coach, because they're a team. And if you take away Taylor, Mike Sell, then they get the ball to Theory, and then here's J.C. Sheldon. But, I'm not sure any of them are candidate for Conference Player of the Year, and maybe they should be. So how tough is it preparing for this team?
Really tough.
Yeah.
They're just a really tough team. And as you mentioned, the most impressive thing for me has been, we talked about how it's been trying to adjust to Allison Widener, Trinity Brady being out of the lineup, but they've had very significant losses. And J.C. Sheldon, who I feel like would be a candidate for sure for first team all conference and potentially player of the year in this league. And they've been without her for several weeks due to injury. And then they lost Madison Green, who's another just fantastic guard in this league, to injury. And they just keep winning games, and they just keep, rolling forward. And they really feel like, to lose two quality guards like that to injury, and then to just keep winning quality games and sometimes coming from behind, but just showing great toughness to come out on top and to remain undefeated at this point in the game. I think it's just it's a testament to their depth and just their program and the state of it right now.
Buckle up and put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Huskers and Ohio State on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central. We'll continue to talk about that game and other things related to Nebraska women's basketball when we return in a few moments.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports, with single-game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Our remaining moments with Amy Williams here on Sports Nightly. This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Matt Coatney with the coach. And check out the Husker Extra mobile app. From the team at Lincoln Journal-Star, it's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. You got a quick turnaround from the Penn State game last night. The one thing about a big win is you can celebrate it for a few minutes, but Saturday, 1:30, third-ranked team in the country comes in here. So what's been kind of the game plan to get ready for Ohio State, because you just played last night?
Yeah, I mean, today was really trying to balance just recovery from last night's game and then starting our prep for Ohio State. And we just went from playing Penn State, who was 14th in the nation in number of turnovers forced, and now we'll be playing the number 1 team in the nation in, turnovers forced per game. So we know that a big key for that game is going to be taking care of the basketball, and so we spent a little bit of time just really trying to emphasize that today, and then tomorrow we'll really get in depth with that prep and prepare for Saturday's game. We feel like it's a really good opportunity for us.
And I think right in the middle of all that is Kellen Hake, who has really gotten a lot more playing time with Allison Widener's injuries, and she's stepped up on the offensive end. You know, you look at last night, 16 career-high points. She made 4 threes. But the pressure that Ohio State brings, it's just something different. You know, it's been hard for other teams to deal with this year. So you've got a freshman in Maggie Mendelson, you got a freshman in Kellen Hake, and then you got some veteran players right there. But how tough is it to simulate for I'll just use Kellen as an example because she's playing a lot in a ball handling position, to really let her know what is probably going to happen with Ohio State and the way they bring their pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do a pretty good job of being able to show game film that kind of shows how plenty of teams across the country have really struggled with that. But I think all you really need to point to is the turnover problems that we've been having a little bit ourselves over the last few ball games, and then knowing that we're about to play that kind of amped up just a little bit on Saturday. So I think just identifying that, and certainly not to instill any type of fear, but just to know that this is the kinds of things that we're going to have to really do to be deceptive and to attack and to take care of the ball and make sure that we are getting good shots at the basket and not letting the turnovers lead to offense for them.
Speaking of offense, Maddie Kroll has increased her offense lately. 14 last night. Is that something you've asked her to do, or is that something that's just happened?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought her up, because I felt like maybe after I went back and rewatched the game film that the biggest shot maybe of the night was the 3 she hit right before halftime to stop the bleeding a little bit. And we had built ourselves a lead, but they went on like a 10-0 run, and then she hit a huge 3 right before the half that I felt like was a big one that kind of gave us a little relief and kept that cushion at 13 points heading into the halftime. But I just thought Maddie did a great job. She's been grinding. She works. She gets in the gym. She shoots so much. She probably more than anybody else just coming in and asking the coaches to rebound for her. And our team has a lot of faith and confidence in her ability to knock down shots, so it was great to see her do that.
It'll be the Huskers and third-ranked Ohio State at Pinnacle Bank Arena Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central. You can join me and Jeff Greach at 1:15 with pregame coverage right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Amy Williams, congratulations on win number 300. Congratulations on the win last night. Let's do it again Saturday.
Sounds good to me, Matt. Thanks.
All right, my thanks to Andrew Dowdy. And for all of our texters, and for Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody for hosting Hour 1. I'm Matt Coatney. Hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you Saturday. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Woodhouse Nissan makes car buying easy, enjoyable, and stress-free. We will bring the dealership to your driveway with Nissan at Home. You can shop, drive, and buy a new or pre-owned Nissan all from the comfort of your own home. Explore every aspect of the purchasing process at your pace and convenience. Get real pricing on your vehicle of choice, review lease and financing options, and complete a credit application. Get to your next adventure faster with Woodhouse Nissan.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers. There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www